Hi, I'm Jamie.
Hi, I'm Thomas.
And hi, I'm Pam.
Oh no, was that a car crash? I wonder if there's anything we could have done to prevent it from occurring.
Well, I have good news. Our final project for machine learning at the University of Virginia aims to help do just that.
This project is important because in just the past 12 months alone, there are over 100,000 car crashes in Virginia, resulting in over 800 fatalities. Although there is inherent risk involved with driving, there are always more steps that can be taken by governments and localities to help mitigate risks and prevent future crashes. The goal of our machine learning project is to gain better insight on how and why car crashes occur and what steps we can take going forward to help decrease both the frequency of car crashes and the severity of crashes. Analyzing correlations and features will provide useful theoretical results, while predicting car crash severity and whether or not car crashes will occur provides useful applications for future risk mitigation.
We wanted to choose a topic that had a lot of real-world application and importance, as well as one that had substantial data to use. In case you didn't know, for machine learning, the more data, the better.
When looking for datasets focused on Virginia, we found a large, high-quality dataset on vehicular crashes with over 900,000 data points.
Wow, that sure is a lot of data.
Exactly, which means we can extract a lot of useful features and information from it during our analysis.
The dataset includes information on car crashes in the state of Virginia from the years 2013 to 2020, and the features include location, crash severity, number of vehicles involved, and much, much more. In fact, the dataset includes almost 70 different features.
We began by first cleaning our dataset by removing entries that were missing substantial data and dropping certain features, such as road names, because the dataset included almost 46,000 different road names. That's way too many to successfully classify by. Next, we standardized the longitude and latitude and used a one-hot encoder and label encoder for categorical data, such as yes/no features, like whether or not alcohol was involved during the car crash.
We then ran 3 separate experiments using the data we collected: clustering using dbScan and k-means, classifying by the crashes by severity using all of the data, and then focusing just on interstates by using just crashes on interstate systems to train and predict.
With the first dbScan and k-means clustering, we only used location data to identify clusters for each severity level. The k-means plots just based on location did not reveal much. However, with dbScan, we found areas with high densities of crashes. Looking at the graph for very high severity crashes, we found that there were dense clusters focused around Northern Virginia and Virginia Beach areas. Taking a closer look at these clusters, we found that in Virginia Beach, over a third of the points in clusters were from Route 64. In Nova, about a quarter were focused on I-95. Severe crashes definitely seem to be focused more on the highways in these areas.
We next used k-means to cluster using all the features. After using a low value for k, the resulting clusters seem to be focused on metro areas, such as Nova, Richmond, and the 757. When we classified using 7 clusters, it was able to identify some of the major roadways, including I-95, I-64, I-66, and I-81.
We used SVC, random forest classification, and decision tree models to predict the severity of crashes in 2020 using the data from 2013 to 2019 to train. The SVC performed the worst of the 3 with an F1 score of 0.8572. The decision tree classification method had an F1 score of 0.8739. The random forest classification performed slightly better with an F1 score of 0.886. Using data from all of Virginia, our models were able to predict the severity of crashes well.
Next, we looked at the crashes solely on interstates in Virginia. Using the same 3 classification methods as before, we got F1 scores of 0.9286 for SVC. This was the best of the 3 methods, 0.9131 for decision tree, and 0.9261 for random forest. Based on these F1 scores, the models perform slightly better at predicting the severity of crashes that only take place on the interstates in Virginia.
Starting with the full feature predictive models yielded pretty poor results and prompted us to move to breaking the dataset into interstate highways and primary roads. The models, in turn, had much better performance, which indicates that there was significant noise that was occurring in the full dataset that is muted when breaking into roadway types. This also implies that accidents have similar conditions to other accidents within their roadway type. This helps confirm our earlier observations from using k-means on all the features when we got a cluster outlining the interstate roadways.
For the clustering portion of the project, we initially started with just looking at the k-means clusters on only the coordinates to help locate high crash regions that may be particularly dangerous. The results were not particularly useful, which caused us to look for alternate clustering algorithms. The dbScan clustering algorithm yielded much more insightful clusters that more accurately located high crash regions and revealed that the density of the clusters was much more important than the distance between them. Next, we clustered the accidents based on all features, not just geographical. This resulted, interestingly, in clusters that very clearly outlined the interstate highways. This reinforced the earlier takeaway that crashes on highways tend to have very similar conditions to one another.
The results of this project can help suggest specific areas to local and state leadership to focus resources on to help mitigate risks in high crash areas. If preventative and educational measures are taken, more lives could be saved, and the roads will be safer for all Virginians.
Well then, this project has been a bumpy ride, but we've learned lots about both machine learning and car accidents along the way.
Nice one!